Hello, everyone. Welcome to 8-Bit Versus for some more old retro nonsense gaming and slightly competitive gameplay from myself. I'm Alan, and this is Martin.
Hello.
Commonly known as Popey and Wimpy. You can see somewhere down here, there's our Twitter accounts. Martin's is up there somewhere. Feel free to follow us over there.
There? It's also confusing.
Somewhere around
there.
I can't see where you're pointing.
It's the right place, I'm sure.
Good. So you can follow us over there. You can also follow 8-Bit Versus in all the places. In the title screen, you can see we're available everywhere. And we're 8-Bit Versus everywhere. We managed to get that name everywhere. Tonight, we're doing Battle of the Coin Ops. We've both chosen a game. We're going to have 2 sessions. First one is going to be Donkey Kong, as you can see, which is Martin's choice. And then my choice, later on, we'll start another video, and that'll be Hypersports. So that's the plan for this evening.
Is this the one where we destroy our vintage joysticks, trying to waggle our way to victory?
This is a problem, because Hypersports is very much a joystick waggler, joystick killer.
Right.
I have 4 joysticks here, so I'm hoping if I break one, I've got another joystick that I'll be all right with. What are you going to be using tonight?
I have a cunning plan.
Oh.
I've got
maybe we'll talk about...
Go on then, we'll talk about that later. So you have to tune in to
we'll talk about that later. Yeah. But first up, we've got Donkey Kong, and we're going to play... This was your choice, wasn't it? So
this was my choice, yeah. So shall we get into it?
Yep, stick the tape in.
Okay, let's go and get that loaded.
So after a bit of blowing on the tape and aligning the azimuth, we managed to get this loaded.
Okay, we're just going to have to work through this.
That's weird. I've never seen that kind of graphics on my Commodore 64 before.
Hang on a minute. Where's it getting that from?
Bear with us, everyone. So, as you can probably tell, there are some technical difficulties. Call in the Vice Squad. I agree. This would never happen with the Sinclair Spectrum. Never.
Hang on a minute. Okay, just bear with us. No, it's still a random screen from somewhere.
I don't understand where it's getting that from.
Nope, me either. That isn't an image that exists anywhere on my system right now.
Can we blame OBS, maybe?
Yes, we're totally going to throw OBS under the bus. And we'll just...
You reselect the window?
I've tried that, so bear with me.
So, Martin is now furiously clicking on windows and pressing on buttons. This never used to happen in the 8-bit era, did it? You would put a tape in.
We never had quite
it would load.
Kind of difficulty, that's for sure.
I just want to play Donkey Kong.
As do I, very much right now. As we... right, okay, let's just switch this and do that. There we go. Right. I'm blaming OBS. That's genuinely a bug.
Woohoo!
Okay, there we go.
Right.
Thank you for your patience, everyone.
Let's just cut that out in the edit.
Yeah.
Live streaming.
Right then.
Right.
Are you familiar with this game?
Vaguely. I mean, I think I had a Game & Watch Donkey Kong, the orange flip-up one.
Right.
But I don't think I've ever played it on a Nintendo, or in fact a non-Nintendo device.
Okay, so if you whack your fire button, you should start the game, hopefully. Did you whack your fire button hard enough? The basic premise is this. You are a little guy, and that big monkey is carrying your girlfriend up into a partially built skyscraper. And now you have to reach your damsel in distress, and you have to avoid all of these obstacles that are being hurled at you. So yeah, climb the ladders.
I guess jump.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you pick up the hammer,
I have seen this before.
You can mash those barrels that are coming towards you.
And do I have to go back down to get the hammer?
No, that's purely optional. You know, the advice is if things get...
Oh, there's one there.
Yeah, there's one there. Now, you can't climb ladders whilst you've got a hammer on the go. So, yeah, so you're like on this level mashing things until... But you do earn more points.
How long does the hammer last?
It will flash a bit. Now it's going to go away. See how it's flashing a little bit green? And it will disappear at the least convenient moment. I'd stop trying to use it if I was you. There we go.
I thought the barrel was going to go off the edge, not down the ladder.
No, so there's
How do you know when the barrels are going to go off the edge or down the ladder?
Well, you kind of don't, unless there is a little trick to this game, which is if you're going up a ladder. Oh dear. If you're going up a ladder and you have your hand touching the level of the girder above, barrels won't come down the ladder. But you can't be far enough above the girder.
like that?
A bit lower. There we go. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. So that will prevent them coming down upon you. But other than that,
is every level the same?
No.
Is it? I assume when I get to the top.
So there are 4 screens. This is the first of the screens, and if you clear this level, you'll be presented with a different set of obstacles and things being hurled at you.
I lost my hammer.
Yes, well, it's a.
Right, let me have another go.
Hazard.
So I'm playing with the Kempston Competition Pro today. I thought I'd give this one a go.
Yeah, good choice. I think that's a great choice, actually, considering some of the other things we're going to be doing later.
I was surprised how short the throw on this is. It's really short.
Yes, it is. So this is obviously a coin-op conversion from the classic Donkey Kong, and this was. Go on.
I was going to say it looks pretty authentic to me, like the purple girders and stuff from what I remember of the Nintendo.
So I think what we've got going in our favour here is that this arcade machine was released in 1981. But this conversion wasn't released until 1986. So the Commodore 64 is pretty much equivalent to the hardware that was used in the original arcade machine. So the graphics and sound,
6502.
yeah, are pretty authentic.
Do I go and get her?
Yeah, that's it. Well done. First level cleared. Congratulations. Monkey grabs her and off he goes again. I've seen her referred to as 2 names. In the arcade, I'm pretty sure she was Pauline. But in these conversions, I've seen her referred to as Nicola. So pick that up. Don't know what it is. But you can see the umbrella.
Are these pies?
These are pies. They will kill you. And also, that's a conveyor belt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why do pies kill you?
I don't know.
What's that?
I've no idea. I've never worked it out. Oh dear, now you've got a problem.
Oh, these are slow conveyors.
You're in the wrong place right now. This is absolutely not where you want to be. So, can you see the umbrella? You need to get the umbrella.
Oh, yeah.
And then you need to get up to the level that Pauline or Nicola, whatever her name is on. That's it, up there. Oh, jump. There we go. Well, good job. Good job. Oh.
What?
So, the pies and barrels that are not on fire have a set, path which is governed by gravity, but the boiling barrels of oil are somewhat sentient and will move around the landscape a little bit.
Oh yeah,
randomly.
Sentient oil, burning oil is useful.
So it's big calm.
What? The oil
chat.
goes up the.
So it's big calm in the chat is saying that this is Mario. Yes. Now we certainly recognise this character as Mario. Oh, by the way, you can't fall further than you can jump, otherwise
clearly
you die. But this character didn't have a name at this point. We now know it's Mario, but in this game he was simply known as Jumpman. Yeah.
I had heard Jumpman. You're full of facts today.
I like this game a lot. Yeah. Shall I give you another bit of trivia about Jumpman or Mario?
Yeah, go in.
If you start your game again.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait for the monkey to do his whole thing. You're welcome.
He's not a monkey. He's a gorilla.
Oh well, gorilla. So, we've talked about. The introduction is so tedious. Right, we've talked about these hammers. So, a lot of people we all think of Mario as being a plumber, but in actual fact, Mario was originally a carpenter, hence the hammer. He was here working on this construction site. Here's the hammer, and he only became a plumber through Mario Bros, where they're working in the New York sewers with his brother Luigi.
Oh, fudge! There's too much going on. I mean, obviously, there's not a lot going on.
No,
I mean, terrible at this game.
So the reason I chose this is this was one of the sort of early arcade machines that I really spent time on. So as I said, the arcade.
But actually, in the arcade.
Yeah, the arcade machine came out in 1981, and we happened to go on a family holiday to Spain in Christmas 1981, and the hotel we were staying in had this in the lobby, and there were not enough 25 peseta coins to satisfy
in the whole of Spain.
So yeah, I played this quite compulsively for a week, and then some 5 years later, when it was available on the Commodore 64, I did buy it, and that was sort of a somewhat unpopular purchase, because when this game came out, it was a full £8.95, so you know, an expensive game, and a lot of the reviewers at the time felt that was, you know, too pricey for a 5-year-old arcade machine, especially when there's only 4 levels, although we're only going to get to see 2 of them by the looks of it today.
You cheeky bastard. Well, obviously, when it's your turn, you'll be showing me all of the levels, no doubt.
Well, I wouldn't bank on that, no.
Yeah. What's your catchphrase? Shut your face?
That could be an emerging catchphrase, yeah. But yes, Big Calm. Yeah, I think this made it to all of the 8-bit home computer platforms of the day. Well done.
Aren't Nintendo like typically super litigious about and not very free about sharing their games with other?
Yes.
Where am I?
So you're down there. This one, I can't actually remember what the path is on this one. Oh, hey, hello, it's Joey from OMG Ubuntu, who had this on the Amstrad. Hello, Joey.
Hello, Joey. I suck at this game. You're gonna have to after this go. You're gonna have to show me how it's done.
Well, the thing is that you're now basically at a point.
I barely fell. I went that far.
You can only fall as far as you can jump, and anything further than that is death.
I would type out this game sucks, but I don't have time.
Do you not? Are you not a fan of Donkey Kong?
I don't know. I was never into it. I was never into the NES. I did have a Super Nintendo, but by then, all these terrible games from the early days of Nintendo. I say terrible as in, you know. Does this hold up against? I don't know. You have a go. You show me how it's done.
Okay.
You show me how it's done.
I'll have to get that loaded, so we'll do that now. Right then, so it's my turn to have a bash at this on the Commodore 64, and
so,
go on.
Big Calm said it reminds him of Chucky Egg, and I was thinking exactly the same kind of thing. That the Chucky Egg levels are very similar. I mean, they have the same kind of. You dive in, and I'll carry on chatting. So they have the same kind of girders and ladders and collecting stuff, and a little man who can only jump a certain way.
It's interesting because I know the name Chucky Egg, but I've never played it.
I think it will definitely feature on a future episode of 8-Bit Versus because
Okay.
I love Chucky Egg. I'm not sure whether it would be Chucky Egg or Chucky Egg 2. I have a horrible feeling Chucky Egg never made it to the Commodore, but I think Chucky Egg 2 might have. But they're both great games. Chucky Egg and Chucky Egg 2 are very much like Manic Miner and Jet Set Willy.
Right.
Like, Manic Miner is a screen flipper levels, whereas Chucky Egg 2 has a map that you navigate around. There's the elevators.
Oh,
yeah, Lance, don't worry. We will be playing the Spectrum version after. We're gonna mix up the format tonight and have a couple of goes on the Commodore and then a couple of goes on the Spectrum.
Yeah.
And then comment. I noticed they have the gorilla in a fetching Commodore Brown.
Well,
which is useful. They've got a monkey.
Be careful what you say because we're going to be playing the Spectrum version later.
We haven't got to the Spectrum one yet. So this was back in the days when you could have a female character that,
yes,
the male character.
When I was choosing which game I was going to play this evening, I was going through a lot of the classics, and it's amazing how misogynistic they all are. It's invariably a damsel in distress somewhere.
Yeah, all written by men. Hey,
oh
no.
Shake face.
So are these authentic levels compared to the arcade and the NES?
Yeah, I think so.
Does it look the same?
To my eye, it does look pretty much identical. Oh, bother.
Bother. So over the course of the episodes of 8-Bit Versus, you're going to hear all kinds of swear words and occasionally British non-swear words like bother. Well done for getting that. Oh, did you type on a keyboard there?
Yes, because, I'm not an animal.
I'm the keyboard guy.
Yeah, Lance,
so you're gonna get
we will be making our eyes bleed with the Spectrum version later, and this is the first of 2 live streams this evening. So after we're done with Donkey Kong, we will be taking a very short break and coming back with Hypersports on both platforms too. Oh, Tosh and Fiddlesticks, yes, indeed, that's exactly.
What joystick are you using today?
I am using the Competition Pro again. Shall I explain why?
No.
I can't. I can't find the.
I need you to hold it up in the air. So that...
There we go. There it is.
Yeah,
Competition
nice.
Pro.
Are you using the same one?
Yes, because I can't find my Retronic D-port to USB adapter to use my QuickShot 2 Turbo. So I'm having to slum it with a Spectrum controller. Oh, I've done it again. Damn it.
Have you got to level 3 yet?
Shut your face. Shut your face.
Level 3 is much better than this level.
Yeah, I thought it was quite good.
Lift.
Oh, no, look. It's those blooming things again.
So the original arcade had moving walkways,
yeah,
and like all these platform tropes that you see in every platformer, like the moving walkway, the ladder, stuff that's coming after you, stuff to collect. Have you ever played Bear Bother?
Oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm trying to play Bruce Lee here. I'm trying to jump by doing up diagonals instead of pressing the fire button.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I've got quite good at Bruce Lee now, by the way. So that was in our first stream. There we go. Fire. That's much easier. That makes me jump and everything.
Quick, the ladder, quick. Oh.
Yeah.
Does the ladder go down while you're on it?
Yes, it can do, yeah. And if you're lucky, then maybe the fire doesn't get you. You just have to sort of hang around and hope, because once you're on it, you're stuck.
Right. Oh! Level 3.
Level 3.
Don't jump off like I did.
No. Oh.
Or did you bash your head?
I got squished.
That's a shame.
Yes.
What happens when you get to level 4? Does it loop back round to the start and go faster or something?
Do you want the spoilers as to what happens if you clear level 4?
Well, yeah.
Okay. So if you clear level 4... if you clear level 4, level 4 is different. You actually have to destabilise the girders, which will cause Kong to fall to the ground and crack his skull. And you then are reunited with Pauline or Nicola, whichever one it is, which is lovely. But then
I love a love story.
Whilst you're doing that and your back is turned, Kong recovers from his concussion and sweeps Pauline stroke Nicola up and takes her off up the girders, and you do it all again, and you are stuck in this infinite loop of rescuing and...
Right. So it's just a case of getting a high score, really. There's no...
Yeah, with just
career progression.
Yeah, with just 4 screens. And apparently the purpose of this game was twofold. One, obviously, to make a successful arcade machine, but it was to design the character that we now know as Mario to be a recurring character across Nintendo titles. What I think is interesting here is, of course, if we look at Mario, it's obviously Mario, but we can see the pink of his hands here on the Commodore 64 version, given that pink is one of the many colours that are available to us. But on the...
I can certainly see a couple of fat pixels that I would imagine you're referring to as hands.
Oh, goodness me, honestly.
They've got wide pixels, haven't they? These.
Oh, but of course, on modern day Mario, he now wears white gloves.
Huh. Is that because you couldn't have that many colours in 4x4 or whatever it is on the
Maybe.
Commodore?
I mean, on the Spectrum, you could only have 2 colours, of course. I mean, at least we got a choice of 4 on the Commodore 64.
Well, monochrome, it did well in the 1930s. It's good enough for Sinclair.
Well, yeah, good enough. I mean, technically, I was reading about the Spectrum ULA and its Z80 implementation the other day, and learned that basically it was a monochrome screen, and what you could do was turn colour on and off. I don't want that fire there. That fire being there is a pain. What do I do? Oh, there we go. That's rather handy.
What's the umbrella for?
It's just a thing you have to collect. I don't think you can complete the level without... Oh no! Oh dear. Oh, this is a problem.
You're stuck.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh dear. Bother.
I do quite enjoy this. I know this wasn't like a super popular game because it is quite simplistic. And I never had a Nintendo.
Can you imagine paying £9 for this?
Well,
back
yes,
in
1985. That was more than 1 week's paper round money for me. I was earning, I think I said last time, £6 a week on the paper round, and at £8.95, that was a week and a half of paper rounds to get this. But
yeah, I spent far too much money in. There was a game shop in Aldershot that. That hurt. Jumped on the flames. It was a game shop in Aldershot called Esdevium Games. I used to buy most of my games in there. Right
then.
Let's get rid of this. Let's
really?
see the Spectrum version.
Are we going to load the Spectrum? Yeah. Okay then. here we go then. So, Popey on the Spectrum version of Donkey Kong.
So you mentioned the carpenter. Down the bottom, there's this little scroller that's going, and it's telling a little story. Little Mario tries desperately to climb to the mighty fortress of steel to save
Is that
the lovely
moving, is that
lady.
moving on your screen, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a problem.
Oh, it's frozen on yours.
Yes, apparently so.
Yes, it's not moving.
Okay,
Should
right.
we stop and restart.
We'll be back
Press
in a
the
moment.
hammer time.
Right, there we go. Sorted that.
So now it's moving. You can see that there's text going along the bottom. It did actually just when you missed it. It does mention Mario.
Oh, it does.
But it also mentions that he's a carpenter in here.
Haha.
There's quite a bit of text in here. I've been watching. But this was a year later, 1986.
Well, the game originally came out in 1981 when he was jumping.
Yeah, but it was 1985 on the Commodore, and I'm saying this is a year later.
Interesting. I have other interesting information about this game. Do you want to get playing?
Oh, blimey. Yeah, I do.
Go on then.
You're going to go all open university on us while we're playing?
Well, only if you wanted to. Audio is slightly off, sadly, someone says. What, with us or something else? BBC at primary schools. Yes, I remember that too.
Oh, look at that. It's beautiful.
Oh, my gosh.
Look at that resolution.
Just look.
See all the pixels.
It's just...
But hey, it's Spectrum Magenta for the... Now that looks weird. I'll grant you.
Run.
Oh, you know, it's got oil written on the side of the barrels. I didn't see that on the Commodore.
Right, okay. I think it's good that you point out all the visual qualities now because there isn't many of them.
Right. Oh, look at that speedy animation.
Speedy.
Yeah.
So,
oh, God. That's the same sound as the Commodore. There's no difference there. Oh man!
I actually don't have the words to describe your delusion. Unbelievable. Now, so do you not think that climbing the ladders is a little bit slow here compared to what you were just playing?
I don't know. I have only gone up 2 ladders. Well, 1.5 ladders so far. Ask me again. Yeah. Also, these ladders are a lot higher. I guess that's because the Spectrum is much higher resolution than the Commodore.
No, because it was much lower resolution, and also because of the colour clash, they weren't able to put as steep inclines on the girders, if you look. So they're all equal height, in fact. They're not actually different height ladders.
I don't believe that.
So what was interesting about this game is this is the official Donkey Kong, as licensed from Nintendo and published by Ocean.
Yeah.
But some 2 or 3 years previous, Ocean released a game called Kong, which was a rip-off of Donkey Kong, and it was basically this exact game,
fudge,
but with a lot of bugs. And what you're playing now is essentially the same Kong game that was released some 3 years previous, with a few visual tweaks and some bugs fixed, so that it is Donkey Kong, yeah, it's basically a poor man's rip-off that they republished when they got the license to do so. So unlike
I think
Commodore,
you're right. It does. Whoa! It does take a long time to get out the ladders.
Yes, it makes it far more challenging. I think.
Yes. Well, I mean, on my first go on the Commodore, I got to level 3. Well, in my first play, I got to level 3. Shows how easy it is on the Commodore. So maybe it's good to make it a bit harder.
Really?
Oh, fudge. I wasn't expecting him to come down my ladder.
Yes, Foo Barry, this is a shocker. It's an absolute travesty of an arcade conversion.
Right, one more. I'm going to have one more go.
Really?
I
Just one?
Halfway up. Well, yeah, maybe a couple. Are you just putting off the moment when you have to play this?
I really don't want to play it. It's just awful.
Now, look at that.
Yeah.
Monkey.
Yeah.
We'll look at it again in a minute when I get to restart.
Okay.
The monkey looks like, or the gorilla or whatever he is, he actually looks like a, no, don't come down here, a monkey in a monkey suit. The yellow part looks like a monkey. Can I just wait here?
And just if this is a faithful
they are coming down
reproduction.
Thick and fast. What? Jesus.
Yeah. So the other thing I've noticed about the Spectrum version is you...
No, he's a monkey inside a red monkey. He's a yellow monkey inside a red monkey suit. Very odd.
So 8455. Why is it funny looking at this on Twitch? Just so we understand. Rewind the tape and record over it. Yes, Joey, you're dead right. Yeah, this would be, you know, definitely top of the pops material on a Sunday afternoon.
Do you know what? I was going through some of my tapes earlier on today, and I found one that I had taped over the part of a game with ABBA. So, and actually got the.
Hello, Jill. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Jill.
If you've only just joined us, I'm terribly sorry. We're now playing the absolutely disastrous Donkey Kong on the Spectrum. You missed the majestic version of Donkey Kong on the Commodore 64 that we played a little bit earlier. So if you want to see that, then head over to our YouTube channel tomorrow, where we'll have that video up for you to enjoy. Maybe with some of the calamitous technical difficulties edited out that we had at the start.
I'm going to have a go with a keyboard. With the best keyboard ever, this keyboard.
I don't have enough hands for my forehead right now. Gee.
Oh, this is way easier.
Way easier?
Yeah, it totally is.
Why is it easier? Oh, yeah, that looks easier. Yeah.
I mean, I've got to exactly the same point.
Yeah, you've totally got it.
I think what I need to do is...
not suck.
Play another game. This is just a... I mean, I'll grant you the Commodore version is a more authentic reproduction, for sure.
Would you go as far to say it's more enjoyable?
I mean, it's all relative, isn't it?
Relative to what? That we're comparing the same game on different platforms, and this is terrible. I mean, we spoke last...
It's not terrible. I mean, if I bought this... Well, you know what it was like back then? You buy a game, and then you play it to death because you've paid for it. It's the only... Like, you've just spent £9 on it.
Yeah.
Don't you dare come down this ladder. Don't you... There we go. So... Whoop. Hey, don't do it. Don't. No. How am I going to get up there?
No, you're screwed.
How are you supposed to get over two barrels?
You can't. Not on the Spectrum. another failing of the game implementation. So as it happens,
I like the logo at the top. That's quite nice.
Yes, I completely agree. That is very well done. It's the best feature of the game, which is, you know, not that high bar really to clear. But
thank you for pointing that out, Sorceress.
This on the Spectrum was just $7.95 as opposed to the $8.95 that you paid for the Amstrad and Commodore versions. I think you were paying the extra £1 for the additional colours and audio that the Commodore and Amstrad version had.
Hey, there wasn't. There wasn't that much extra colour.
There's a pound's worth, I think you'll find.
A pound's worth of extra colour. I wonder what the CPC version was like, because that didn't have color clash. It had a similar resolution to the Spectrum.
Yeah,
it was a bit slower.
I've only seen screenshots, but it looked very similar to the Commodore version.
Git. Are you going to show me how it's done, Martin? Because this is just.
I'm probably going to show you how to die in many of the same ways that you have just done, because I haven't been able to clear this first level on the Spectrum, but I'm prepared to try.
Right. I'm just going to get rid of this fire and these barrels. And
So I think the hammer makes more sense on the Spectrum. It's not so much as a last resort as a necessity to actually progress on the Spectrum version of the game.
She's doing my head in. It really. All right, one more. Look, I'll have one more go. All right.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, Big Calm. No scoreboard. That'll be a count of the insufficient memory on the Spectrum to hold a high score table.
There's a scoreboard right there.
No, it's just a high score. There isn't a high score table.
Dude, I haven't even got a score yet.
Well,
so...
this is also true. We've talked about how much you suck at this game earlier. Just one more, says the addict. Yes, very true.
Also,
way,
look at the rendition of... Oh, yeah, thank you, everyone. Look at the lovely rendition of my girlfriend up on the top there. Stick figure.
Wow.
Going,
yeah.
Is she saying help?
Yes.
In the most pixelated font you've ever seen?
Yes.
Don't do it. Right, come on. You can do it, Alan. You can do it.
So I've actually
screwed down.
overcropped the screen slightly. I could actually restore her head, but I'm not going to do it now because all we're missing is like 2 pixels there.
I'm quite getting used to the music. I say music.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's an overreach, really. It's just a sort of a jumble of distortion.
I'm never going to be one of those speedrunners, really, am I?
I think, those
Not
days are probably
game.
gone. Oh, damn dead.
God damn it.
So,
right.
Over? Is it my turn to actually have a go at this damn thing? Popey sounded like that. Yes, Wizard, you're right.
What I also quite like is the rendition of the Nintendo logo in a little Nintendo-style font, which must have been hard to do.
Yes, that's the second best thing about this game.
What is the loading screen and not the actual game itself?
No, the loading screen is crap, but the Donkey Kong logo and the little Nintendo flash, they're actually the best features of this game.
She's a beautiful maiden, is what it calls her on the scroller at the bottom. That little yellow thing is a beautiful maiden.
The ominous Donkey Kong. I think they've oversold this just a little bit. Foreboding music, I like the way it says.
It describes the foreboding music.
Stretch. A real stretch.
I don't think the Spectrum's ever been capable of foreboding music.
Or music.
Right. Go on then. Get the tape out.
Okay, I'll load up. Here we go. Okay, it's my turn to play this.
You don't sound so excited about it. Oh, okay.
So the way that this works is that actually I've made a terrible mistake.
You've chosen keyboard?
I forgot to select keyboard because I made the newbie mistake of thinking that the Spectrum actually supports joysticks by default, which of course it doesn't because it's user hostile. What are my keys?
It's not user hostile. It's cheap. It's what it is.
Yeah, it definitely is cheap. So I found that P makes me move. What else?
L is one of the keys.
P.
One of the default keys.
So that. There we go. So I've got left and right. How do I go up?
I don't know. I could probably tell you what the keys are.
So do you remember? I'm going to die quite quickly here because this is terrible. Do you remember the other day we were playing Manic Miner and you were talking about like the recognisable jump profiles of various characters, and we talked about Mario has a very
LRDU and fire.
What LR? I mean, goodness.
Oh no! Currently, is IP
Mavis Beacon's typing tutor.
IPZQ and space.
I can't be bothered. I'm just going to kill myself.
IPZQ. That's quite nice, actually.
No.
I always use QAOP space, but this is
Right.
QZ, which means you've got your fingers more spread out.
Kempston joystick. There we go. So I put it to you that this game that we now know to be Mario does not have the signature Mario jump profile.
Well, let's have a watch. Let's see you get all the way to the top, so I can see.
No,
it.
just look. It's just that's not Mario, right?
Yeah, you're right.
That's not how Mario jumps.
I can't help but think you chose a game that you knew would be terrible on the Spectrum.
So I didn't. That was just a happy coincidence. You didn't.
I was just convenient for your argument.
You didn't like my original choice, because it was too brown. Apparently,
no, it was too dull.
Too dull.
Your previous choice was the game was just.
It's an
dull.
absolute. I'm not going to say the name of the game because we're definitely
we might bring it back
because it is definitely a classic of Spectrum 8-bit home computing. But
right.
Dull.
You're doing well. Doing well.
Oh, hang on. There's fire there. Now that's a problem.
Oh no.
Oh, in fact.
I mean, how can you? Well done.
This is just...
I can't stop seeing a monkey inside a monkey with that start.
What do you think about the monkey at the top of the screen? Do you think that looks like Kong, or do you think that looks rubbish?
I mean, I know what they're trying to do there. There is certainly a character there. I'm not sure whether I would call it a gorilla or Kong.
This is just the worst. Right. Come on then.
And it wasn't even made by... It says it was released by Ocean, but it was made by another company, Sentient Software, whoever they are.
Yeah.
So contracted out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, dear me.
Faced with the prospect of programming the Spectrum, they decided they'd pay somebody else to do it.
Ocean had quite a lot of successes on the Spectrum. But
They were
this was not one of them.
They were certainly a
prolific
publisher. But
like...
a lot of their games were not, excellent. They had, very variable quality in their output, as is demonstrated by this. We've seen the amazing Commodore 64 version, and then this garbage. I mean, this is just... It's not even... It's barely a poor facsimile of Donkey Kong. Oh, see, can't jump, can't clear two of the damn things.
I noticed we're both getting stuck around the same place.
Yes.
I mean, you could say that you're going to get value for money out of this game.
Yeah, you made that argument last week. It's not washing.
Up until the point you punch the TV screen and have to go to hospital. I don't know. It's a pretty terrible example, I think. It's playable. Just
really. Did Ocean do anything for the BBC? Having never owned a BBC, I don't actually know. This is going to be my last go, I think, and then we can...
I think Ocean basically published for every platform.
Did they?
I'm pretty sure once they got a license, they wanted to get the most out of it.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't know. I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of the BBC games, but there was a kind of niche set of publishers who always published for the BBC, like Superior Software and Melbourne House and Firebird and other brands like that.
See, because of the colour clash, I couldn't even see that stupid fireball coming my way.
Sorry, I can't hear you over the glorious music.
Glorious. Does the Spectrum even have the other 3 levels? You know what? I bet it doesn't. I bet nobody has ever found out. Good point, Lance. I totally see where you're going with that assertion.
It is weird. It is very weird.
Please let this be over.
Well,
Hunchback. I had Hunchback on the VIC-20. I think that was the first game I played on my own computer. A computer that, you know, was...
I noticed you haven't used the hammer.
No, well, so the general...
It just delays your progress, doesn't it?
Yeah, it delays your progress, and really the hammer is intended for your last chance saloon. You know, you're up against it, you need a recovery position, you get the hammer out and blitz some barrels and get to a, you know, a point of... Right, should we have a little chat about
Wrap
this
up.
then? Yeah?
Yes.
Everyone's
going ape over Donkey Kong.
Are they really? Right, okay. That was actually the punchline in Crash Magazine's review of Donkey Kong back in 1986, was everyone's going ape over Donkey Kong. So,
wow.
What did you make of that?
Okay, so I think we can reasonably say the graphics were certainly better on the Commodore, and the playability was better because it was actually possible to finish a level. You could argue it was a little bit too easy, because I don't recall playing that game for a very long time, and I managed to get as far as level 3.
Yep.
But if you're telling me that it's got infinite levels, then I've not even scratched the surface of...
Well, no, there is only the 4 levels that just loop infinitely.
Right, but if they loop, then it's effectively infinite levels. You're just got to get a high score. So it's not about the level. It's about getting a high score.
Yes,
that's the whole point of that.
Yeah.
I still feel it deep inside that you selected that game knowing it was going to be a chronic experience on the Spectrum.
So
and I will obviously have to find in a later episode a game that I know is the pinnacle of gaming on the Spectrum and looks like trash on the Commodore.
Okay. And I shan't deny that those games exist, right? There are some games which have by far better gameplay on the Spectrum, even based upon the superior specification of the Commodore 64. But no, I
hope someone's recording.
No, they do exist, but you'll have to find them because I'm not going to tell you what they are. And none of you in chat start giving him tips, by the way.
Please give me tips.
But no, I picked this because it was a colourful game. It's a recognisable title. Turns out there's lots of people on Twitch playing Nintendo titles. There was a little bit of that trying to capture some people, you know, on Twitch as well. But it just so happened it was a glorious coincidence that the Spectrum version is just complete shit.
Yes.
So as soon as I realised it was complete shit, I was like, right, I'm having that. I'm going to score 1 for Commodore here.
I think I would concede that match, and I would let you have that one. And I don't think I know I'm a gracious kind of guy. I don't think I would play that game ever again. There are some Spectrum games I would go back to. Yeah. That ain't one of them.
Right. Oh, you mean on the Spectrum? You would never go back to that on the Spectrum?
Yeah, I could be convinced to play it on the Commodore, but
yeah.
If someone was playing it and I'd say, budge over, I'll get you to level 3.
Yeah.
But on the Spectrum, no.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's a fairly accurate assessment. I think that it's quite a faithful reproduction of the original arcade machine. And in our last stream, we talked about, you know, gameplay being everything on these 8-bit home computer games. You know, there were limited graphics and sounds to play. Well, they were on the Spectrum. Commodore had, you know, quite copious amounts of capability in the graphics and sound department. But you know, there were limits, and they really had to focus on the gameplay. And I just feel like this one, the Spectrum version, even with the graphics where they are and the sound where they were, if the gameplay had been nailed, then it would have been twice as good. And it's the gameplay that let it down. So I really think that Sentient Software lost this one for Spectrum this evening. Yeah, it's a poor effort. Okay,
so thank you all for watching our delve into the mid 1980s of 8-bit computing. We do this as and when we think we found a good game to play against each other. Tuesdays, maybe. Fridays, maybe. The best way to find out is to follow 8-bit Versus on Twitch. If you prefer watching them after the event, you can watch them on YouTube. Also, 8-bit Versus over there. And you'll also find us pinging the whole world on Twitter. And I think we're also on Mastodon as well. So
we are. We don't talk about that, though.
But nobody talks about that.
Don't go changing. Whilst this stream is ending, we'll be back very quickly with a Hypersports showdown. So we'll be back in just a few minutes with another stream.
See you later.
Bye.